This morning, Yakubu Gowon has written a book. Will the millions of kids that died from Kwashiorkor during the Civil War be able to read the book? Will the people that were massacred in the Asaba massacre be able to read the book? Will the people who lost homes, limbs, future, possibility be able to read the book? Yes, the book is titled Duty and Allegiance to the Country. In allegiance to Nigeria, was a civil war the best way to have settled the impasse and the rivalry between two people? Should that war have ever happened in the first place? Today, as we try to say our own part of history, and Yakubu Gowon, we thank him for giving us his own part of history today. Although I've not read the book, but I've read some excerpts of it. As he tries to talk about, the internal workings of what happened. If this book, millions that died in that war, cannot read this book, then at least how can we ensure that we don't go to wars like that again? That's a food for thought this morning. Secondly, President Jonathan. I walked through the phone lines and I got some messages from my sources. They are saying the plot is actually thickening, that some people are pushing him. But I've got word for President Jonathan today. Those that are pushing you were those that disgraced you in 2015. Were those that used the media arsenal against you. Those that are behind you now and are pushing you to run were those that didn't find you worthy in 2015. Were those that carried placards calling you all sorts of names. Were those that carried live goats and put your picture in front of that live goat. Were those that went on Twitter and said that if we would rather vote an animal or vote you, they will vote an animal and go home feeling fulfilled. President Jonathan, you have served and done your time. Do not let them push you into their game. I'm sure the clergyman told you this, and he told you much. Because these people are users. And when they are done with you, they'll discard you. Because they never had respect for you in 2015. And you see, they say time heals wounds, but with more time going by, their resentment for you has grown, but all they just see now is how to use you to be part of their game. President Jonathan, I know the pressure is much on you to run. They're pushing. They're doing everything. But please be careful. Don't listen to them. They'll lead you astray. The APC and its internal problems, we predicted it, we saw it coming. Today, consensus, some have stepped down in Lagos. Those that felt they were finally going to hold it out, they stepped down in Lagos. Yes, Bimba, you say there's been disagreements across, but I don't think anything will change. I think those that have the power will still use their power, and the weak will be left to cry, and probably when they go to the courts, they will not get anything out of it. But I'm not sure they're going to learn. Because in the end, they will still fall for this bait in 2031. Until we build a democracy where true power belongs to the people and not the hegemons, Nigeria will never be free. I yield the floor.
Now, to the Mr. Amechi, Rotimi Amechi, I think he granted an interview in which he said he's not in the ADC to be anybody's running mate, that he wants to be president. Well, that's a very legitimate ambition, but he still has to go through the process and the party has to decide. But the other thing he has been saying in the last 2 days is that he doesn't think that Waziri Adamawa Atiku Abubakar is electable. That after all, he started looking for the position of president since 1992. And that he usually boasts that he wins primaries. But Amechi says it's not enough to win primaries. You win primaries, yes, but you lose elections. And he doesn't think that Atiku Abubakar is electable. However, Let him focus on his own ambition and how he can get the ADC ticket if he succeeds in that regard. He cannot legitimately question Atiku Abubakar's ambition. If he wants to be a president of Nigeria at 90, for as long as he's qualified, then of course he can continue to try his luck.